everyone, it's me. If you're new here, my name is Alanna and I'm a Canadian, but I live here in the UK. And if you're not new here, hey, how's it going? It is another scorcher today. I've been sat here for like 5 seconds and I am already sweaty. Recently, I asked you guys on Instagram and the community tab on YouTube. Spoiler alert, there's a community tab on YouTube. I don't know how many people actually look there, but you can make like little posts. Anyway, I asked you guys on Instagram and the mysterious community tab, what do British people like to do for fun? British hobbies. What does that look like? And I got so many responses. First off, thank you very much. Second off, I don't even think we'll be able to get through half of these. There's just so many, truly incredible. So I thought we would sit and get cozy, sweat it out here in the corner, talk about British hobbies. I hope some of these maybe inspire you, maybe interest you to try something new. I'm super interested, so grab a seat, get cozy, get yourself a nice cold drink. You're probably gonna need it. And without further ado, let's go. We had a lot of responses about walking, and here's our first question. Walking, hiking, rambling. What is the difference? Walks in the park followed by a coffee. This is wonderful. I would do it the other way around. I would say get a coffee and go for a walk in the park. Love it. I love going for a walk in the countryside, especially in nice weather, 100%. Paul says rambling, as in going on countryside walks. Pause. Walking is used in the UK to describe a range of activity from a walk in the park to trekking the Alps. The word hiking is used in the UK, but less often than walking. The word rambling, akin to roam, is also used. The main organization that supports walking is called the Ramblers. Fascinating. In terms of like indoor activities, we got a fair bit of like video games, playing video games and building Lego. Lego is also one that came up quite a bit. So far, these are things that I'm actually interested in. I love going for walks, love getting a coffee and going for a walk, and I do love video games. I recently played, for my first full playthrough, Red Dead Redemption 2, finally. I played it originally when it first came out, and it was so overwhelming, I put it down. But I went back and I've been taking my time. I've been doing all the extra bits, doing all the legendary fish and the hunting and everything. And this game literally made me cry. I think video games as a whole, like as a hobby, get a bad rap. It's like mindless, stupid, violence, like whatever. Totally disagree. This game is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. Literally crying on my couch when I finished it. So if you have a favorite video game, leave a comment down below. This is what I believe to be a very British hobby, and that is train spotting. I actually did a video a while back about train spotting and how it's really not something that you see much in Canada. We don't have, first off, we don't have as many trains. When I lived in Ontario, I took the train all of maybe 4 times, and that was the GO train into Toronto for like a concert, and then you train back out. But you'd have to like drive to and from the train station. And this idea of like trains being a hobby just never occurred to me until I moved here. And I have met so many train spotters. I don't know what it is. Personally, I cannot claim to be a train spotter. I'm just happy if my train is on time. Do you know what I mean? This one was fun. Theme parks. I think this is the only theme park suggestion, which is interesting. I love theme parks. I wouldn't say it's particularly a hobby because I don't get to go very often. It's kind of like a special event. But I do love theme parks. If I am ever invited to one, hell yeah. Am I going to a theme park every weekend? No. Maybe a theme park every like 4 years. Another one that I thought was super cool is stained glass. I don't even know how you would start that, but I'm super intrigued. The idea of making stained glass never occurred to me. I want in. How about staring into the void? As you can probably guess, we got a lot of like sport related submissions, playing golf badly, badminton, swimming, Pilates, chess, pubs and tea, not sports, but still interesting. Golf, cricket and hiking, golf, snooker, noodling on the guitar, park runs, a lot of like active, outdoorsy kind of stuff. Another big one, can you guess what it is? Reading or some variation of reading. Reading, badminton, Pilates, yoga, board and card games, Love all of that. Lots of reading suggestions. This one also says crochet, gardening, and walking. I don't have a garden, but I'd love to someday. I think in terms of the hobbies that I spend the most time on, like day to day in a regular week, regular work week, what do I spend the most time with? For me, that's reading. I read in bed every night. I purposely put myself to bed early so I have time to read. I might read for an hour each night. Love it. Love reading, love all genres. I'll read anything. And I've been reading a lot of British authors lately, some really good books this year. Where I read books, I never read the back cover. I read books totally blind. If someone suggests a book, that's good enough for me. I don't read the reviews. I don't read what it's about. I literally just read it. And I will say this year so far, I've read so many good books and actually quite a lot of British authors. So put a pin in it. I will be back. And as part of this sort of like British hobbies series, we're going to talk about British books. Okay, I am so sweaty. I need to put my hair up. Hold on. My hair's too heavy. I will also say I have been converted to a Kindle. I was so hesitant to get a Kindle for so many years. I got a Kindle this year. I read so much faster. I would have thought like reading on the screen would be annoying. It's not. Truly fabulous. If you're going to be online for any of your hobbies, internet gaming, online shopping, that counts as a hobby. Any sort of like internet community, literally anything online. If you're gonna be online, you should definitely check out today's sponsor, Incogni. The sad reality of being online is there are companies that will gather your personal information and sell it for a profit. And this can be stuff like your full name, your address, your mobile number, you name it. I'm sure everybody watching has had a robocall. I actually had one the other day where they wanted to talk about my recent car accident, even though I don't own a car. And if you've ever wondered, how do these people get my phone number? It's the data brokers who have sold your details. Incogni reaches out to these data brokers and requests that your personal information is removed. So they handle all the details. The process is completely automated. They also have a tool called custom removals. So you can send Incogni the website URL that is sharing your personal information and watch it disappear. Now, I actually get some hate comments about this, which maybe is surprising, maybe not. I share so much of my life here in the UK on the internet, but there's certain things that I keep private. I don't use my full name. I don't talk about where I live. I try to be reasonable with the information that I put on the internet. When I signed into Incogni, there were already 48 data brokers with my personal information, and Incogni got right to work getting them removed for me. If you want to give it a try, Incogni is available risk-free for 30 days. Take back your personal information with Incogni. Use my code ADVENTURESNAPS. That is ADVENTURESNAPS. There's a link below. You're gonna get 60% off an annual plan. It wouldn't be a list of British hobbies without talking about, you guessed it, the pub. We've got going to the pub, Weatherspoon trips with my friends, pub crawl, pub walks, just pub. I love it. And another one that was actually really popular that I hadn't really considered is photography. Whether just photography in general, wildlife photography, photography and filmmaking, going for walks in photography. How about a combination of ones we've already talked about? Photography, walking, and video gaming. Can you believe we had multiple suggestions of paddleboarding? I've only been paddleboarding maybe twice, but it's so infrequent, and every time I do it, it's honestly so much fun. I think if I lived like near water where it would be like suited for paddleboarding, I would do it all the time. It's like a physical activity, like workout exercise, but it also is just like really fun. Another British hobby that seemed really popular is models, or like train models, painting models, making models, all that kind of stuff. Warhammer was another one. Any sort of like scale modeling, creating models, painting models, all that fun stuff. I live stream on Twitch. Join me on Twitch, I live stream. And we've done a couple of models. I did one that was like a miniature pub, which was fun. We did like a train car at some point. Recently I did a post office like book nook thing. It was very cute. I find these equal parts fun and relaxing, and also like so frustrating. Some of the pieces are just so small and I can't get the just right, you know, and I lose my mind. This one feels very, very British, and I will not elaborate. Metal detecting. Not loads of people said the gym. I would say the gym is one of my most popular, that's not really what I want, like the hobbies that I do the most. Up top, I'd say reading and the gym. I love weightlifting. Go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, ideally. Love weightlifting. Going to the gym is not like a weight loss thing. Not interested in that. The fun of weightlifting and like pushing yourself to the next level, I just love it. It's the closest thing to leveling up, like a video game, but in real life. And if you've ever done weightlifting, you know how fun it is when you lift, like, say, a certain amount, you come into the gym the next day and you get like the next, it's just incredible. You've leveled up. Intoxicating. Another suggestion I saw a lot was around music, but particularly guitar. Whether that's guitar, creating music, playing the guitar, ukulele. I was kind of surprised that guitar seemed to be like the instrument that more people mentioned. I tried learning the guitar many, many years ago on my own. It was a disaster. But I did used to play piano for many years. That was my go-to instrument. Not as portable as a guitar, I will say. We did get a couple of gardening, mentioned that earlier. This one I thought was cool. Foraging, preserving foods, bushcraft, incredible. A lot of stuff that I wouldn't necessarily consider or think about, but I'm thinking about it now. Here's another question. What is the difference between fishing and angling? A lot of people said fishing, slightly fewer said angling. I used to go fishing with my grandpa a couple of times, and I've been deep sea fishing, which was super fun. I think, again, it's like one of those things where if I had the tools, if I lived near a place that was accessible to fishing, I would do it. Same with paddleboarding. Every time I've gone fishing, it's been really fun. It's very like meditative and just like calm. You're in nature, just kind of hanging out. So I would definitely add fishing to my hobbies list if it was maybe a bit more accessible. I don't have a car, so like if I get a fishing rod, I can't walk anywhere. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not a hobby for me right now, but I guarantee it will be in the future. I just gotta move someplace. How about darts? Is it a sport or is it a game? Leave a comment down below. I think darts is a game that can be played professionally. We had a few of like crafting type stuff, sewing, embroidery, crocheting in the winter is interesting, only in the winter. I love knitting, I love crocheting. I don't know how to sew, I don't have a sewing machine, but I would if I could. So I think for me, crafting is a big one. Can you see my little guy? That was my first ever crocheted animal. I kind of hated every second of it, but I think he's pretty cute. My grandma taught me how to knit when I was quite young, but only just the very basics. And in the last sort of maybe 2 years, I've been learning how to crochet. Super fun, sometimes frustrating, but yeah, it's one of those nice little hobbies. I like, you know, at the end of the day, maybe watching some TV, watching a movie, and I can just like knit. Love it. How British is this one? Bouldering is a cool one. Bouldering is something that I've thought about. I don't have any place local that does like, I wouldn't know what to do. So I would need to go someplace where they like teach you. I couldn't just like go bouldering in nature and just like hope for the best. I would die. But I did look at going to like a gym that offers bouldering. A bit expensive, unfortunately, but I'm very interested in it. I think that would be really, like a really fun activity. I think when it comes to exercise, you have to find something that is fun for you, and everybody's different. I think weightlifting is genuinely really fun and I really enjoy it. I think bouldering would be pretty cool too. Clay shooting. Very few people suggested clay shooting. I actually went years and years ago and it was so much fun. It was my partner and I and this like instructor guy. We shot shotguns, I don't know what kind. So fun. Afterwards we were like, oh, I wonder like how expensive would it be to get like a gun license and, you know, get a shotgun and go clay. Like it was very fun. And spoiler alert, really expensive. How about choir singing? I think that's really nice, especially if it's like a group choir, right? Like there's a group of you. It's a nice way, A, to socialize, but also to do something fun. Unfortunately, I cannot sing and I will not be demonstrating here. Another one that you guys suggested, bird watching. Now, I feel like this hobby comes for us all in the end. I haven't got there yet, but I get it. Similar to clay shooting, we also have archery. I've only ever done archery like at camp as a kid. Again, really fun. Not something I've done since then. If I could, I would. And I'd probably end up hurting somebody, but it would not be deliberate. So therefore, it's not my fault. Another very British one. I don't really know why this feels so British, but anything to do with an allotment, specifically growing veg in an allotment. I had never heard that word before until moving to the UK. I don't know if it's like in Canada to have a back garden is much more common. And so you could have a little veggie patch in your back garden, where I feel like here gardens perhaps are not as guaranteed. And so for those, you know, maybe who don't have this space or don't have a garden period, you can have this allotment. You can go to your allotment and do your like gardening and veggie stuff. And I just think it's very cute. I know my mom tried to have a veggie patch back home. It lasted, I want to say, a year because the deer ate everything. Could not keep the deer away, but they were well fed that year. I don't know if Alex needs help, but Alex, you might need help. I think this one just screams British hobbies, and that is mead making. I did a video on the channel a while back making my own beer. Kind of successful-ish. In the loosest terms, successful. I've only ever taste tested mead before, enjoyed it, like tend to be quite sweet, at least the ones that I had. But I would have no idea the process of making it, but it just feels so utterly British. I think for me, hobbies that I like to do off the top of my head, weightlifting, reading, crafting, crocheting, and knitting. I love going for walks. I love going to a pub garden. I love being outside. Love being inside. Something that I didn't see mentioned too much, going to museums. I love a museum, an art gallery. Those feel very special. So like I don't get to do it super often, but if I can, I'm doing it. If there's a museum nearby, I'm going. That is just scratching the surface of the hundreds of British hobbies you guys suggested. Thank you so much. I hope some of those maybe are interesting to you, maybe inspiring for you to try something new. If you have any British hobbies that I've missed, please leave a comment down below. I'd love to turn this into a series, maybe trying out different hobbies where we can. Don't forget to check out my code ADVENTURESNAPS for the Incogni discount and my link in the description. But thank you guys so much for watching. Stay cool out there, all right? I am so sweaty already and it's like 10 a.m. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye.